All right, that is live there outside the courthouse in New York City. The former president addressing reporters. Let's bring in News Nation's Caitlin Becker. She is outside of the courthouse. Caitlin, obviously court has adjourned for the day, but tell us what happened on this Tuesday.
Well, Nichole, court has adjourned, but David Pecker still on the stand today as court ended. He was the first witness called yesterday. And towards the end of his testimony today, after establishing this alleged catch and kill scheme that he testified about between Donald Trump, Michael Cohen, and himself at the National Enquirer, prosecutors really got into what some of those stories looked like. The first name they brought up was Dino Sajudin. This is the former doorman at Trump's penthouse, who wanted to sell a story claiming that Trump illegitimately fathered a child with his housekeeper. Now, that story was not true, but AMI bought the story from Sajudin, and we actually had an exhibit that was shown in court today. Defense objected to it, but ultimately they were overruled. And when it was published to the court, you saw email exchanges. They were internal emails at AMI, American Media, who is the one who publishes the National Enquirer, and it detailed a payment that was made to Sajudin in 2015. This brings us back to this idea that the conversation between Donald Trump, Michael Cohen, and David Pecker back in August of 2015 laid out this deal where they would bury negative stories about Donald Trump, publish positive stories about him, and also publish negative stories about his political opponents. So the DA here really trying to lay out exactly what that looked like. Now, when this all went down, Pecker testified that he was talking to Michael Cohen sometimes a handful of times a month, but as 2016 ramped up, it could be weekly. And when there was an issue, it was sometimes several times a day. One of those issues was Karen McDougal, and that is the last thing that they really talked about on the stand. Karen McDougal is a former Playboy model who wanted to sell her story about an alleged months-long affair with Donald Trump. David Pecker testified that he first learned about Karen McDougal from Dylan Howard. He was a higher up at AMI and the National Enquirer at the time. He said that he was approached by McDougal. He then went to David Pecker with this information, and David Pecker was asked, what did you then do with this information? And he told the jury, I called Michael Cohen. So that's really how we kind of wrapped up today. And of course, earlier today, we had that gag order hearing about contempt. We still don't have a ruling on that, but if that comes down later today, Nichole, I will be here to report it.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.